Are you ready? Because this is going to be the video where people lose their minds about my approach to this. Okay. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We're in our 8th year of homeschooling. We have homeschooled all the way up. I have a pretty hot take. Starting the new year right. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Okay, so we are going to talk about my philosophy when it comes to teaching writing. I know. Right there, that's where I lost you. I feel like of all of the things in my approach to homeschooling, this is the one that is like, this is my woo-woo. This is my woo-woo opinion on these things. And I don't teach writing. I know. I'm going to tell you in a minute what I do. But before I get there, let me tell you that today's video is in partnership with Zookeeper. As you guys know, I absolutely love them. We have used them for the entirety of our homeschool journey, even before, maybe. I can't tell you. It's been years and years and years and years. And the reason that I love Zookeeper and continue to partner with them is because they are incredibly valuable. They make my job so much easier when it comes to reinforcing the principles that will make good little writers. Focusing on spelling, grammar, through fun, bright, imaginative games, episodes, all kinds of amazing things, writing prompts, writing challenges, and having the backup of someone else evaluating my kids' writing is gold to me. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit more information in just a few minutes on how they factor into my plan when it comes to, well, not teaching writing, but for right now, I just want you to know, thank you to Zookeeper for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so let's talk about the normal approach to writing. So the normal approach to writing is incredibly formulaic. And because of that, the results are incredibly formulaic, which is not something that I think is good. Yeah. If your kiddo was in public school, they start writing instruction very, very, very early. And that is because writing is often used as a measure on standardized tests. I have big feelings about all of that. But because they need to be able to check the boxes for the masses, for a large group of students, what they do is they do teach writing in a very formulaic manner, which, like I said, creates a very formulaic output. So are you getting the information? Sure. Can they cite the information? Absolutely. Is there any personality to it? No. So therefore, in my brain, it isn't good writing. It's writing, but is it good writing? Is it something we want to read? Is it something we want to enjoy? Usually no. And they teach the 4 main kinds of writing, which is expository, narrative, argumentative, and research and analysis style writing. So yes, they get writing instruction, but usually what happens, at least in what I have seen, is that most people don't enjoy this. Now, why don't they enjoy it? Because you're forcing all of this information in a dry and not fun manner down their throats and then expecting them to create something. You cannot create something if you're not feeling creative. You cannot create something of quality, of substance, of value if, again, you're just kind of force feeding information in and expecting dry, terrible information to come out of it, which is why I take my approach. So let's discuss it. I do not teach writing. I don't, and especially not in elementary school. What I do, and I think that now that I'm on the backside of this, because let me tell you, in all honesty, I sweated this decision for a really long time because it's just like everything else. You can't know if it was the right decision until you're on the backside. But I can tell you with, well, 50% of my students here are good with it. I can tell you that this has been the right decision for my children, for my home, and these are the steps that we took. So no, I do not teach writing. What I do is give them the foundation and teach the building blocks so that then when they are ready, they will take the pieces and be able to build the puzzle. You'll see the picture. You'll see it come together on the backside because we laid the groundwork first. So we do study grammar, absolutely, but we don't sentence diagram. We did try that for a period of time. It is terrible. It is not for us. It does not make sense in my brain that there is like this webby network of insanity. Instead, what we do is we study sentences and break them down into their pieces. It is manageable bites. Once they've understood how to do good sentences, guess what? Then you can have them studying good paragraphs. And from good paragraphs come good essays. And that is how we build it out. Now that my oldest is in middle school, she is really starting to write really great essays. And I know that that is because I gave her the pieces early on. And the pieces are reading. Reading to them always, encouraging them to read, letting them read what they want to, but also reading them good classic literature, good books. Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Jekyll and Hyde. Right now, her new favorite thing, she is focusing on female authors, and this mom could not be more proud. But these were all decisions that she made because we read to them. Reading to your children will spark that want to write. It sparks that creativity that they will want to funnel into the written word because they have a love of language, a love of the word. I give my kids creative freedom. So what do you want to write about? What is going to interest you? I try not to ever say, this is a thing you need to do, because that just doesn't spark creativity. I'm not going to be able to give you great output if you're telling me what to do. That's not a thing that's going to work for me. And so I don't imagine that's a thing that's going to work for them either. We do focus on gradual skill building that is practical. So teaching the parts of a sentence so that they can understand it. Teaching spelling so that they can understand it. And then allowing them to build on those pieces. So my third grader can take a sentence and she can give you the 8 parts of speech. She can then give you the subject verb. She can then give you the prepositional phrases used in a sentence. She can then give you how many clauses or independent thoughts or dependent thoughts are in the sentence. And that is because we're teaching the pieces. So no, my third grader can't write you a whole paragraph unless she chooses to. And often she does. So we then focus on real world applications. So encouraging my children to express themselves through language has saved us many times. They love making, designing, and writing out cards for people that they love. They love sitting down and writing their own stories. They will take paper, fold it over, bind it with staples, decorate the front, write out an entire story. My oldest one has done this for years and years and years. She writes stories for her little sister that she then reads to her and enjoys. And it is something that she is choosing to do through that real world application. She is expressing her creativity, her love of language, and I don't have to ask or force or encourage her to do that. She's doing that on her own. So if there is something that the kids want to share, it'd be like, hey, it'd be really great if you could write that down for me. Hey, it'd be really great if you could condense that information and give me what you want me to know. Those are things that allow them to kind of think it's their own idea. Now, this is where Night Zookeeper comes in. Night Zookeeper, again, has been partnered with us for many years. They make creative writing fun. They give your kids the pieces. They allow them to really expand their mind. They use kind of like the improv strategy, the yes and. So if your kid comes to you and it's like, Mom, I have blah, 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 blah. Like, yes, and could you write it down? And that is something that I think Night Zookeeper gets so spot on, especially in their writing prompts. So when your kids are designing a unique to them, completely unique to them, designed by them, colored by them, made by them, character to utilize in the Night Zookeeper platform, be like, well, what does your character's name? What do they look like? What do they like to eat? They're constantly asking those follow-up questions to encourage your children to flesh out their writing. And then once they do have a writing, or once they've decided to accept a more fun challenge, you can submit that writing for outside review. So they are getting that positive feedback. Or maybe you can earn a few more points if you use 3 more adjectives. These are processes that are truly allowing your children to expand without feeling suffocated and stifled by the traditional thought of writing instruction. They're given the creative freedom to explore whatever it is that they want to in their imagination, and then they're being shown useful, helpful, again, positively reinforced ways to articulate that. So I think that Night Zookeeper has been an amazing addition. I know that they have been fundamental in helping my children express themselves through language because, again, we have used Night Zookeeper for so many years. We have used it well before the recommended age for my youngest one, all the way up to my oldest one is aging out of the ideal age and still enjoys using the platform. It is a partner for me as a homeschool parent, but it is a willing and wonderful partner for all parents who just want to give their children a little bit better understanding of writing, of creative writing. Maybe it's focusing on spelling, or maybe it's focusing on grammar, but it is provided in a manner that is fully compatible with today's leading writing experts, as well as in a manner that is fun, it is bright, it is engaging, because even if your child longs on to Night Zookeeper, they never do a creative writing assignment. Every single game they play is reinforcing the principles of language arts. Every single game that they play is furthering them along their journey, whether they realize it or not, because it is a fun way to learn, especially such a topic as writing, such a topic as has been invested in so heavily to create such a formula for formulaic output. Night Zookeeper is ahead of the game. It's bright, it's colorful, it's engaging. My kids want to do it, which is the biggest endorsement that I can ever offer them. It is chosen in my house, and that is a really big deal. If you are looking for a fun way to make creative writing engaging, educational, and enjoyable for your kids, whether they're homeschool or public school, please use my link right down below and check out Night Zookeeper. You will not be disappointed, but you can receive an absolutely free trial before any commitment. You don't have to take my word for it. Try it yourselves. And just like I said about Night Zookeeper, something that we do in our home to encourage a love of language and a love of writing is positive reinforcement. So we are always asking follow-up questions. We are always encouraging our girls to put their thoughts down on paper. There's some simple things that you can do: fun paper, fun pens, fun font. If you don't want to physically write it out, you can type it. That's a big thing for my youngest one. She doesn't always like physically writing, but she loves typing. She was also very excited when she learned cursive because she could make it so pretty. By allowing our children the fun and freedom, because just remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be something that they want to do again. And I promise you, those foundations, those blocks that you are building up will come through on the backside. If children enjoy what they do, they will do it more. Okay? If you enjoy what you do, you'll do it more. It's not out of the realm to think that writing can be fun. And there will always be time for them to get it right later. There will always be time for them to learn and follow the MLA format later. They'll learn how to cite the sources. It's gonna be fine. It is okay if first, and I'm gonna go so far as to say it is desirable, if first they learn to love the language before they learn how to perfectly master it, because being able to articulate it later is going to be so much easier if they love what they're doing now, if they can understand the importance of it, how you can deliver a feeling and a message with your words. They will be so much more inclined to continue to do that later, and it will serve them so much better in the long run. They will not be judged by the number of essays they put out, but they will be judged by the quality. And I assure you, by the time they're in high school, the quality will be there if they learn to love it early. So don't stress, don't freak out. Just know that if you do it right, if you lay that foundation now, the cracks will not show later. They're going to be able to build, and it's going to be amazing. So guys, I hope that you found this helpful. I often cite my philosophy on writing, and I have never actually sat down and spelled this out. So I hope, again, I know some people are going to be so mad at me, and I'm going to say this is my woo-woo stance when it comes to education. We just don't do it. But what we do, I think, is working really well. So there is no reason to stress about it. It'll be okay, I promise, because they do have time in middle school and high school and college where it will be there waiting for them. But if they can read good works now, and they can love good works now, and learn how to spell and learn the parts of a sentence, it's gonna be okay. They will love it. So if you can instill that love of language, it will better serve everyone. This is my hardcore stance. Again, it's my woo-woo moment, and I don't even care. This is how I feel. It's real, it's genuine. Guys, don't forget to check out today's video partner, Zookeeper. They're always awesome. Love them to death. So I do have an offer code down for you below. Try them for free. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. And I know a lot of you are like former educators, so down in the comments, give me an emoji. Give me like a death emoji or like a skull if I just broke your brain, or like a heart if you feel it. I don't know. Give me something, because I am so curious to know how many people take this approach and how many people are about to like come for me, because I know it's crazy. It's a wild thought, isn't it? But again, I've got one on the backside, so I've got some proof in the pudding. 50% rounds up. That's all I'm saying. Bye, guys.